Como é que amiguinhos? Tudo bem com você passando de trazer aqui?
Dear Ned,
Olha, não.
Austria has been wonderful so far.
Amiguinhos, sejam muito bem-vindos a um gameplay no canal. Outra vez, estás a falar de Nancy Dry, um jogo de investigação. Como já falámos.
It's said to be haunted, so I'm expecting some good scares and mysteries. Ever yours, Nancy.
Amiguinhos, Nancy é um jogo de investigação de mistérios, ok, amiguinhos? Onde vocês vão investigar
Feels like ages since I was on my last adventure.
mistérios, não é? Aqueles monstros.
Are you coming in?
That's alright, Miss Drew. I'd prefer to stay out here.
Why? It's so warm and inviting.
Desse lado, likes ao amiguinho. Vocês querem que eu traga uma minissérie? Eu trago uma minissérie do jogo. Com certeza, mas agora vou lançar um gameplay para quem nunca jogou, para vocês experimentar o jogo. Um jogo de mistério, um jogo de investigação, como é caraças. A Agatha Christian, uma casa para Beto, aquele também de jogo de investigação de policiais, vocês sabem. Desse lado, likezão, obrigado a todos os manos que apoiam vocês neste canal. Vou começar a trazer, eu disse que ia trazer novidades.
Much better. You said Judge Sewell was a pious man.
Yes, he believed in the healing powers of the good book. Of course, the Bible was also used to justify executing people.
Depends on who's reading it.
Não, se é um
Give ear
detetive.
to my prayer, oh God.
E anda a investigar ataques sobrenaturais às vezes.
Sounds like a man full of regret.
O jogo está em inglês, ok, amiguinhos? Vou tentar depois pôr em português. Que é um mistério da Serena, Sarana, assim. Ok.
Oh, great. You know, that room used to be a prison cell. Mosam Castle was the site of the most famous
Canal, tens de fazer inscrever-te no canal, ativar o sininho e aproveitar e deixar o teu like, ok?
The Salzburg witch trials predate the Salem witch trials by 17 years, actually. After the incidents in Salem, Judge Sewell willed his personal effects to be preserved by whichever museum would have them. And since we are the premier historical reference on witch trials, it ended up here.
So, you've seen his book of apologies.
The book written by Judge Sewell? Oh, no. I've never actually been in that room.
You mind if I ask why? Is there something scarier in here than creaky floors?
Well, let's just say that ghosts exist in this castle. And if they do exist, they definitely haunt that room.
Ghost? Can't say I've ever seen one, but they are non-corporeal by definition. Hi, Dad.
Hey, how's my girl? Having a good time in Salzburg?
Yes, I'm having a blast. The scenery is gorgeous and I'm loving the food. Not to mention, mysterious castles are my jam.
Good. So you visited Mosam Castle?
Yeah, that's where I am right now, actually. Hot on the trail of the Book of Apologies, in the castle archive.
Great. Thank you, Nance. This'll set Hugh at ease.
Hugh?
Judge Danforth. We go way back. Has a son about your age. He came to me for
A primeira vez que estou a jogar Nancy, ok, amiguinhos?
descendants. And I came across a living relative.
And then you thought of me.
Sorry about crashing your vacation.
Don't worry, Dad. I don't mind at all. I live for cases like these.
Good. I knew you'd enjoy the challenge. The Book of Apologies has become relevant in a legal dispute in Salem, and Judge Danforth wants to do the right thing.
Right, I see. I'd better get this book to him ASAP then.
He'll greatly appreciate that. Thanks again, Nancy.
No problem, Dad. I'll get back to it. Talk to you later.
Good luck, Nancy. Keep me in the loop.
Dr. Hurst?
Yes, I'm here.
Austria is wonderful.
I do enjoy it here myself. I'm not from Austria.
E tipo também
The food is quite an
Sherlock
experience.
Holmes também.
The pancake soup was
Bem
great.
trazer para o canal.
Yes, the Frittatensuppe. The locals consider it traditional.
How long have you known my dad?
Oh, Carson and I are not that close. He reached out to me because I'm the historian keeping track of all the relics here. And, as he guessed, we should have the Book of Apologies. Somewhere.
Lucky I was already here on vacation. I was quite surprised when he called and though I have to admit, visiting a castle is something I've never been able to turn down.
Do you do these kinds of things a lot?
From time to time. What else can you tell me about the Book of Apologies?
As I mentioned, it's the book written by Judge Samuel Sewell himself, detailing the names of people accused of witchcraft. Sewell was one of the very few judges who regretted his actions. The book became his way of finding redemption. Sewell himself was originally from England, but acted as a judge in the Salem witch trials. Do you perhaps know why Carson would need such a book? Just out of curiosity, of course, it's just such a very unusual request.
He's looking into it as a favor for the current judge in Salem.
Oh.
I'll get back to it.
Take all the time you need.
Hard to tell how... Is this Judge Sewell's desk?
Ah, yes. That desk is where he spent most of his time working when he was
Ok,
in
já estou
court.
a entender mais ou menos como é que o
If the
jogo
Book of
funciona.
Apologies does exist,
Mas primeiro tem que
he would have
perceber bem. A
written it
primeira
at
vez,
that
amigo.
desk.
Então,
And what's inside this alleged book?
Your father didn't tell you? It was a ledger containing all the
se
names
vocês
of the
conhecerem mais um
accused
jogo
witches from the
é este
Salem witch
tipo de
trials.
estilo,
Judge
como é
Sewell
Nando,
had
se vocês
doubts
digam nos
about his
comentários,
convictions,
amigos, se vocês
and
querem que
he
eu
wrote the
traga,
book as a means to
se vocês conhecem outro tipo
make
de
amends.
jogo, neste estilo de
Allegedly.
investigação,
Yes.
de mistério, vocês digam nos comentários, ok, amigo?
I found a letter. It's addressed to Abigail Hathorne Woodley.
What does it say?
I do regret to write to you in this state. I have been racked with guilt as my fervency of spirit was too great to determine a conviction just. He asks for her forgiveness and for God's. What does this mean? Some of this stuff looks very old. There really isn't much here.
Yes. Judge Sewell was a Puritan. They believed they should only have purposeful or utilitarian
book.
possessions, very little value outside their stated use.
Malleus Maleficarum. Wow. The Hammer of Witches itself. Gives me chills knowing what it did.
Yes, indeed. A how-to guide for hammering out witchcraft. It was written in 1487 by a man whose name I won't even bother to mention because he used bunk science to send hundreds, if not thousands, of people to their deaths.
They're really... Dr. Hurst?
Yes.
I'll get back.
Take all.
Some of this stuff looks very old, but it doesn't look like... Some of this stuff looks very old, but it doesn't look like it's very useful.
Ok, como vai tirar fotos, ok, amiguinhos?
Hello, you've reached the voicemail inbox of Ned Nickerson. I apologize that I did not come to the phone in a timely fashion. Please feel free to leave a message after the beep.
Hard to tell how far up we are. Hard to tell how far up we are. There really isn't much here. There really... Some of this stuff looks very old, but it doesn't look like it's very useful. Some of this stuff looks very old, but it doesn't look like it's very useful. Hard to tell how far up we are. There really isn't much here. There really isn't much here. There really isn't.
Ah, ok.
Locked. Chest, but it won't open. But that's not really important right now. An old chest, but it won't open. But that's not really hard to tell. An old chest, but it won't open.
Foda-se, como é que eu vou
But
fazer?
that's not really
Graças.
important right now. Some of this stuff looks very old, but it doesn't look like it's very useful. Dr. Hurst?
Yes,
I'll get back to...
take all...
There really isn't much here. There really isn't much here.
Temos que procurar as chaves.
There really isn't much here.
Não dá, meu. What the fuck?
Hard to tell how far up we... Hard to tell how far up we are. Locked. Some of this stuff looks very old, but it doesn't look like it's very useful. Some of this stuff looks very old, but it doesn't look like it's very useful. Hard to tell how far up we are.
Tenho que procurar aqui na net, isto não consigo. Sorry, amiguinhos.
There really isn't much here.
Como é que chama o jogo, amiguinhos? Eu não sei, amiguinhos, o que vai fazer? Entendi.
Doesn't fit. Locked. Doesn't fit.
Ok.
What a clever desk. It
Nice.
even comes with a labyrinth. Easy. I found it. It's here.
What? Really? Amazing!
Eu não gosto daquele aqui, meu amigo.
Locked behind some sort of cage, though. The lock says A.W. Any ideas?
A.W.? No. But I have some tools in the shop that might be able to cut it free. In my shop. I'll go. Meet me there.
Where is that? Hey, wait for me. The Book of Apologies. It's locked.
Hey, you've reached Carson Drew's home number. For business inquiries, please call my office and I'll get back to you. Anyone else is welcome to leave a message after the beep.
The Book of Apologies. It's locked.
Nancy!
Where is that? Dr. Hurst?
Nancy Drew, it's Deirdre Shannon.
Deirdre? Can I call you back? I'm in the middle of...
Listen, I know we haven't exactly been besties in the past, but I'm in the middle of something big, and
Deirdre, I have to call you back.
Wait, don't hang up on me!
Elizabeth? Elizabeth! Hey! What are you doing? What? The book! They took the book! Stop! Stop running!
What the fuck?
Gotta move slowly. Come on. No! Gotta figure out. A ticket to Boston. Gotta figure out which way they went. Must be a clue here. This canister looks to have been used as a homemade smoke bomb. Yes, Deirdre. What is it?
You know where I am right now? Salem.
Salem? As in, witch trial Salem?
Obvi. Come on, Drew.
Uhum.
My cousin has... She's gotten into some
É
trouble,
engraçado.
and I thought I could help
É
her.
engraçado, amiguinho, mas não sei.
But it turns out
Diga-me
the
desculpa, se
situation
quiser que eu traga sério, eu
is
trago.
more complicated than I anticipated. So
Amiguinho
now
sério.
I'm calling you to ask for some guidance.
You want my help?
Ugh, yes, don't make this more painful. I could use your professional opinion, okay?
Okay.
Well, it so happens that the case I'm on is connected to Boston, which is just nearby Salem. And I was never a big believer in coincidences.
Oh, are you sure?
I'd love to.
Seriously?
I thought I had reached a dead end, but it looks like I have to go to Massachusetts anyway. In any case, a fresh perspective would do me good.
Ugh, you're already annoying me, and you're not even here yet.
You're welcome. I think it might even be fun.
Oh, this is so the worst idea I've ever had. I'll pick you up from the airport.
You took that right zone.
Appreciate you coming here, Drew.
I'm just glad you didn't change your mind and leave me at the airport.
Might have crossed my mind. Keep the excessive cheeriness under control, and we'll be fine.
No promises.
Where were you, by the way?
Austria,
Did I interrupt a vacation with Ned?
didn't you bring me here to help with a case?
Yes, I did. And that's it.
A fire? Was anyone hurt?
Happened in the middle of the night. No one was there, thankfully. The house wasn't completely destroyed, but the person who lived there had to move out. Just so we're clear, this is my case. I know you're a detective and everything, but this is personal. It's family. Well, extended, and from my father's side. But whatever, that's not the point. It's personal. You take my lead, okay?
Okay.
Of course.
But
Well, I have done this a couple of times, Deirdre, and in my experience, we can cover twice as much ground if we work side by side.
you know, respect your experience and whatever, but family trumps experience. It's sensitive, and I don't want you messing it up by being too
What?
you. You're a question machine. This requires gentle handling.
Okay. Okay.
And that's been your approach.
Well, like I say, I need help.
So, can I ask some questions?
Like anyone could stop you.
Why don't we start with your extended family?
They're cousins. The Perrys. Parry.
Oh, like in fencing.
Yes. Tegan is the older one. May is younger. They had a difficult childhood, okay?
Eh?
And now May is suspected of committing arson on the most important historic mansion in Salem. And
That's
I know
heavy.
it's not true. I know it.
What can you tell me about May?
She has a reputation as a troublemaker. Seems like a loner to me. Maybe a bit odd at times. Sometimes she can even sense things before they happen.
Odd how?
I don't know. Troubled teen stuff, difficult time as a kid. Oddest thing is, she won't give an alibi.
That would be seen as suspicious.
That's the problem. Everyone is so suspicious of her. Prejudice, I guess. Because of, well, you'll see.
Sounds like we should talk to her soon.
Where do you think we're going?
What does Tegan think about this?
Ecco,
She's
quelli gli
worried about
amiguinhos,
May,
dai. Vocês andare a fazer perguntas.
Tegan isn't like May. She's
Ouais.
upstanding. She works at the Salem Museum and doesn't know a thing about
Sherlock
criminal
Holmes.
cases. That's why she contacted me.
One more question. What can you tell me about this historic mansion?
It's called the Hathorn House, and it's old. Like really old. And now it's been set on fire.
Nothing else significant about it?
Well, yeah, a lot of things. But one that's kinda why you're here.
Which is why.
The Hathorn House is haunted.
Amiguinhos, vamos ficar por aqui, não, amiguinhos? Digam nos comentários se vocês querem que eu traga mais alguns episódios, eu trago mesmo. Com certeza, tem parry out, só que vou tentar trazer a tradução.
What do you mean, haunted?
Exactly that. There's ghosts.
Deirdre,
I don't believe it either, Drew. But I can't explain it. Everyone seems to think they exist. With so many sightings, even if it isn't real ghosts, something is definitely going on. I thought that maybe you can disprove them. So, would you please get out of my car and come inside? If we're going to work side by side, you'd better learn to keep up with me. You must be Nancy. Thank you so much for coming. You know, you live in the same neighborhood for 20 years and you'd expect your neighbors to be a little more understanding when your family is falsely accused of a horrific crime. Oh, I'm sorry. How are you, Deirdre? I'm good, thanks. Tegan Perry, welcome to my home. Well, our home, although right now my parents are literally on safari in Namibia, so while their daughter is being convicted of a crime she didn't commit, I'm taking care of things around here. They'll be home soon, hopefully. A very expensive courier is tracking them down in the bush. Top notch, I found him on the internet. Deirdre tells me you'll be assisting her in clearing my sister's name.
assisting? Yeah.
She's innocent. I don't know why she won't help herself. She's got a difficult reputation. Well, you know, Deirdre, what people here can be like. She doesn't trust easily, not since... I'm sorry, are you hungry? There's clam chowder, homemade. A little taste of New England. I made up the guest bedroom for you, Nancy. Deirdre, sorry, you're bunking with May. Make yourselves at home. Oh, I almost forgot. After you girls get comfortable, you two should swing by the museum. Might as well take in some history while you're here, right? Just don't get suckered into that witch's walking tour. Olivia Ravencroft is not a witch. She would have you believing all kinds of nonsense about the town being full of ghosts.
I thought you two used to be friends.
That was a long time ago. Look, I'm sorry, I gotta get going. Running late to an appointment.
Thanks, Tegan. I appreciate you letting us stay. Before you go, do you have time for a quick question?
Nancy, we just got here.
Sorry, I know you're in a rush. It would really help.
Of course, I have time for one question, if it'll help.
What can you tell me about where the fire happened?
What have you heard about it? Look, I appreciate you want help, but I don't want you dragging all that up and upsetting May.
Okay.
You told me she would be able to reach her. That's not
what Nancy is asking about. I'm sorry if I wasn't clear. I just thought since the Hathorn house is important to the town, you must know about it. Through the museum.
Oh, I'm so sorry. The Hathorn house fire. Yes, John Hathorn was one of Salem's founders. His large house estate was the oldest surviving structure from 17th century Salem.
Oh, is that all?
That was 2 questions. I said 1. But yes, he was also the big-time judge that presided over the Salem witch trials.
Is there some other fire I need to know about?
No. May's accident was in a fire. I just don't want her getting upset with unnecessary questions about things long over.
I understand.
You can read all about Judge Hathorn when you come to the museum later. Gotta run.
Amiguinhos, fica por aqui. Espero que vocês tenham gostado de...
You jerk. Tegan said you've been in town for days, but you haven't come by.
I know. I had to check in with your case at the, Look, I didn't want to bother you.
Amiguinhos, espero que vocês tenham gostado deste gameplay. Se vocês quiserem que eu traga a série, é só vocês dizerem nos comentários se vocês gostaram ou não. Eu trago uma minissérie com certeza absoluta. Um jogo que é um pouco de investigação. Vocês sabem, nós temos que fazer perguntas e algo assim. Algo assim do género. Vou deixar o link, vou deixar o vídeo no link também, se vocês entregar mais, digam nos comentários, ok? Pessoal, likezão, obrigado a todos pelo apoio e até o próximo episódio. E fiquem bem, até à próxima. E fui, obrigado.